fucking dead, yeah.
Yo, what up? Ben here. And I'm wearing the American Pit Vipers with the USA flag on the side because I am in fact in the USA.
Fuck yeah!
Well, the flag's not really flowing very well, but take my word for it, that's an American flag. Now the 4th of July is fast approaching and I saw this challenge get posted on Facebook where it was to conduct 1,776 push-ups in the month of July. 1776, the year that the Declaration of Independence was signed. I decided I'm going to do this challenge, but I am going to do it with a bit of a twist. I am going to conduct all 1,776 push-ups in a row, non-stop, until they're done. One sitting. You get the idea. This is going to absolutely suck. Ready to go. All right, we've got the timer going, so that's going to be running the whole time. So whenever I do a hot handout with the cameras and change out the memory cards, that's still going to be running, so we know it's all in one go. I'm going to use this to sort of alleviate some of the pressure that's going to build up on my wrists. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Got the board there. Every time I break, I'm going to write down what number of push-ups I'm up to. Quick reps, and try not to rest too much, because I don't want this to take all day. All right, let's do this. Wish me luck. Put a little line down the bottom for every 100 that I've done. Alright, so you're not just watching me do push-ups the whole time. Here's a little bit of information on the 4th of July and the Declaration of Independence.
The 4th of July, often known as Independence Day, has been a federal holiday in the United States since 1941. But Independence Day celebrations have a long history dating back to the American Revolution of the 18th century. What events took place before independence, and why did the American Revolution happen? What were the reasons for it? On July 4th, 1776, it's widely assumed that America declared independence from Britain. The official vote, however, occurred 2 days earlier, and the Declaration was published in newspapers on July 4th. The Continental Congress voted in favor of independence on July 2nd, 1776, and the delegates from the 13 colonies adopted the Declaration of Independence, the historic document penned by Thomas Jefferson 2 days later. July 4th has been commemorated as the birth of American independence since 1776, with events ranging from fireworks displays, parades, and concerts to more casual family gatherings and barbecues. The event was first inspired by the King's birthday celebrations, which included bell ringing, bonfires, solemn processions, and oratory. Sure, celebrations had long been part of the Anglo-American political culture. The choice of which anniversaries of historic events were celebrated and which were grieved had clear political significance, when dynastic and theological tensions racked the British Empire and much of the rest of Europe. What is the history of Independence Day? Very few colonists wanted complete independence from Great Britain when the Revolutionary War began in April 1775, and those who did were thought to be radicals. Due to the growing anti-British feelings and the propagation of the revolution ideals, like those portrayed in Thomas Paine's blockbuster pamphlet, Common Sense, which was released in early 1776, many more colonists had come to advocate independence by the middle of the following year. Richard Henry Lee, a Virginia delegate, introduced a motion calling for the colony's independence at the Continental Congress meeting on June 7th at the Pennsylvania State House, later Independence Hall, in Philadelphia. Congress postponed a vote on Lee's resolution amid heated debate, but appointed a five-man committee, including Virginia's Thomas Jefferson, Massachusetts' John Adams, Connecticut's Roger Sherman, Pennsylvania's Benjamin Franklin, and New York's Robert R. Livingston, to draft a formal statement justifying the break with Great Britain. John Adams was a firm believer in celebrating the birth of American freedom on July 2nd, and he was rumored to have declined offers to speak at July 4th ceremonies in protest. On July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Declaration of Independence, both Adams and Thomas Jefferson died. What happened on July 2nd? The Continental Congress voted near unanimously in favor of Lee's proposal for independence on July 2nd. The New York delegation abstained, but later voted affirmatively. On that day, John Adams wrote his wife Abigail, declaring that July 2nd would be commemorated by succeeding generations as the grand anniversary festival. Sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of the continent to the other. The Continental Congress formally accepted the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, which was substantially written by Thomas Jefferson. Even though the real vote for independence took place on July 2nd, the 4th of July has since become the day commemorating the beginning of American independence. Did you know, according to the History Channel, a simple statement, Original Declaration of Independence dated 4th July, 1776, is written upside down across the bottom of the signed paper? How did July celebrations used to be in pre-revolutionary times? In the years leading up to the Revolution, colonists staged annual festivals of the King's birthday, which featured bell-ringing, bonfires, processions, and speeches. During the summer of 1776, on the other hand, some colonists commemorated the birth of freedom by staging fake funerals for King George III, representing the monarchy's death and the triumph of liberty. Concerts, bonfires, parades, and the firing of cannons and muskets frequently preceded the Declaration of Independence initial public readings, which began shortly after its passage. While Congress was still concerned with the continuing war, Philadelphia staged the first yearly anniversary of independence on July 4th, 1777. To commemorate the anniversary of freedom in 1778, George Washington gave all his soldiers double rations of rum. And Massachusetts became the first state to consider July 4th an official state holiday in 1781, a few months before the crucial American victory at the Battle of Yorktown. Following the Revolutionary War, Americans celebrated Independence Day every year with events that allowed the new nation's rising political leaders to address residents and foster a sense of unity.
SOS.
By the last decade of the 18th century, two major political parties had emerged, the Federalist Party and the Democratic Republicans. All were hosting separate 4th of July festivities in many major cities. What did the first celebration of Independence Day look like? On July 4th, 1777, at the first organized celebration of Independence Day in Philadelphia, the custom of lighting fireworks began. In honor of the 13 colonies, ship's cannons fired a 13-gun salute. At night, there was a great demonstration of fireworks, which began and ended with 13 rockets on the Commons. And the city was wonderfully illuminated, the Pennsylvania Evening Post wrote. The Sons of Liberty let off fireworks over the Boston Commons that same night. Did you know that only 10% of fireworks shows are set off professionally? Which accounts for the projected 12,900 emergency department visits due to fireworks across the country on July 4th. During the early phases of colonial revolt in the 1760s and early 1770s, patriots used such celebrations to declare their opposition to Parliament's legislation while praising King George III as the true champion of English freedoms. However, in many places during the summer of 1776, the commemoration of the first days of freedom took the form of a fake burial for the king, whose death symbolized the end of the monarchy and tyranny and the rebirth of liberty. At the end of the War of 1812, in which the United States once again fought Great Britain, the habit of patriotic celebration grew even more widespread. The United States Congress declared July 4th a federal holiday in 1870, and the legislation was expanded
That was annoying, sorry.
to include all federal employees.
There's a GoPro shut
Although
off.
the
It
political
didn't beep.
significance of the festival waned over time,
Alright,
it
we're
remains
at
a significant national
6:25.
holiday and a
Promise I'm
symbol of
still going.
patriotism. The 4th of July, which falls in the middle of summer, has become the major focus of leisure activities and a regular occasion for family get-togethers with fireworks and outdoor barbecues since the late 19th century. The American flag is the most common emblem of the occasion, and the Star-Spangled Banner, the national song of the United States, is a popular musical accompaniment. The 4th of July has become an important midsummer holiday as the result of the rise of leisure. The prevalence of heavy drinking and numerous accidents caused by pyrotechnics inspired reformers in the late 19th century and early 20th century to launch a safe and sane 4th of July campaign. Independence Day declined in importance as a venue for politics in the late 20th century, although it still remained a national holiday highlighted by parades, patriotic music concerts, and fireworks displays. It's still an emblem of national power and uniquely American characteristics, like the freedom to stay at home and grill. Other summertime activities, such as historical pageants, picnics, baseball games, watermelon eating contests, and beach trips, became associated with the 4th of July over time. Hot dogs, hamburgers, corn on the cob, apple pie, coleslaw, and clam bakes are also common dishes. While the 4th of July is observed throughout the United States, historic cities such as Boston and Philadelphia draw large crowds to their celebrations. The USS John F. Kennedy frequently docks in Boston, and the Boston Pops Orchestra performs a televised concert on the Charles River banks, showcasing American music and concluding with the 1812 Overture. Independence Hall hosts Philadelphia's celebrations, where historic scenes are reenacted and the Declaration of Independence is read. The American Indian Rodeo and 3-day powwow in Flagstaff, Arizona, and the Lidditz, Pennsylvania Candle Festival, where hundreds of candles are floating in the water and a Queen of Candles is chosen, are two more notable events. The history of the United States is full of events that shapes the future of America. Many great American heroes died, but they will always be remembered.
776. 1,000 to go. Woo. This is gonna look good to right. There we go. 1,000. All right. I need to rest for a minute. Have a celebratory hard-boiled egg. Alright, let's crack into it again.
Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Holy shit. 1,300. That's a record for me. Tell you a little story. So I used to be a clearance diver in the Australian Navy, hence the singlet. And during the basic training, you get beasted a bit, and push-ups are a favourite punishment. And one day on course, I think it was the EAD phase, myself and the other 10 dudes, there was 11 of us on course, got in quite a lot of trouble over the day, and we racked up a tally of 1,300 push-ups we had to do before we went to bed. Because the rule is, if you don't do the push-ups that you're allocated that day, they double the next day. So if we only got to say 1,100 and went to bed, we'd wake up with 400 straight away in the morning. And I don't think there's a single day where we didn't get hundreds of push-ups, but 1,300 was the most. But we did it. Shout out to BCD83. I will say though, I was a lot younger and fitter when I was doing that. Alright. Last six. And we're done. Oh my god. Let's I can pause that. Pause the other watch. Six. 1,776 push-ups. Happy 4th of July. Tell you what, if they made that the prerequisite for gaining citizenship in America, you would no longer be the most obese nation in the world.
America, fuck yeah!